What's up, you guys? My name is Preston James, and you are listening to The Reflection, where we do just that for ourselves and our community so that we may lead a healthier, more positive, and productive lifestyle. Welcome back to The Reflection, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. It has definitely been a minute since I have released an episode. It's been a little over a month, I think. The last one was feeling stuck. You know, getting that feeling of feeling stuck, and you can't be productive, you can't get anything done, you can't start anything. Just that feeling of feeling stuck. So hopefully you got a chance to listen to that. I thought that was a great episode. Again, I say that every single time, but I really do. I really believe in these episodes, and I believe in what they can do for people like yourself and myself, right? I was talking to someone the other day, and I was like, yeah, I do it for myself as well. Like, I do this to help people, and hopefully people can benefit from it and add some tools to their belt. But I also do it for myself. So hopefully you got a chance to listen to that episode. And as always, I hope you're staying positive and pursuing your goals. Hope you're staying motivated, taking action, no matter how small it is, taking some sort of action. I know we all go through different phases of our life, and sometimes there's a lot more action than other times, but we still need to stay in motion. We talked about that as well. I forget the name of that episode. It was like finding my purpose, finding my passion, like that, just staying active in some way, shape, or form. Just like what I was talking about with the previous episode, feeling stuck. But taking some sort of action, no matter how small, and just moving forward, poco a poco, as they say in Spain, towards that goal, towards that dream, to whatever it is. Becoming and making ourselves better as individuals. Right? Because that's what this podcast is all about. Becoming a better version of ourselves. Making the world a better place. Because you matter. We all matter. Especially and directly within our community, whether that's work, where we live, the places we go and hang out. And it matters. It all matters, no matter how small. It definitely plays a role, it plays a part, and it makes a difference. So, and that can be good or bad. So hopefully it's on the positive side and on the good side. But with that being said, let's dive in. Obviously, you know the title of this episode is Belief, or more specifically, the power of belief. Our beliefs aren't just thoughts. They are the foundation for how we see the world, how we respond to challenges, and how, more importantly, how we shape our future, how we believe, what we believe, and what that is. And then we're going to dive into that here in a minute, but just what that is shapes everything about us, everything about our present moments and our future. Yes, it's built from the past, right? Every minute, that was the past. That was the past, that was the past, right? Every second's the past, but those beliefs drive the now and into the future. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about really your belief system. The thing you turn to when things are difficult or amazing. I think we do that to, if we're religious, to our gods. We say, thank you, God, so much. I can't say thank you enough. Or same thing as when we're in a difficult situation, right? That belief in a higher power or the God that we praise, that's the belief we have. We have a belief in His higher power to get us through that situation and to the next thing, and hopefully in a good and positive way, right? Our belief system is the thing that we rely on. It's your drive, your core. It's your drive. And it's your motivation to do the things you want to do. Believe in something. I really want to focus on believing in yourself along with other things that you believe in, but more importantly, believing in yourself. But that is the motivation. I am important. I am determined. I am focused. I am worthy, I am worth it, right? Telling ourselves those things motivates us tremendously. But what is belief though? What is it? Like if we want to break it down, like what is belief? Right? I get really philosophical on here sometimes, but I also like to talk about those things of like what something is at its core so we understand it better. And if we understand it better, I think that we can apply it more specifically to our life on a daily basis and breaking that down to a task, a specific task. So it's a feeling. Belief it's a feeling of certainty about what something means. It's an acceptance that a statement is true or that something even exists. And it's like trust, faith, or confidence in someone or something. That's really kind of what belief is at its core. And your next question may be, where do these beliefs come from? Well, that's a very good question. Well, to sum it up quickly and simply, they come from a combination of things like your childhood, your environment, the repetition of things, right? The repeating of something. And your experience with and of things. So that's your childhood, your environment, the repetition, the repeating of things, and your experience with and of things. That's where the belief in something or someone comes from, even yourself. As my man Nietzsche, I've talked about Nietzsche before, Friedrich Nietzsche, he puts it like this. He kind of breaks it down and he says that there's the three areas I want to focus on that he talks about. And if you're curious about how he looks at this belief system and where it comes from, he does have a book. It's called The Genealogy of Morals. I've talked about it before. My professor said it was one of the hardest books he's ever read, if not the hardest book. I have not taken a crack at it. I've listened to podcasts and I've taken snippets out of it and looked at small excerpts from it, but never like front to back. But it comes from The Genealogy of Morals, where he explores like moral beliefs and tools of how people use that for domination. But we'll get there in a second. But he talks about one of these areas of where this comes from and how it impacts us is it's historical and cultural. It's like conditioning. He says a lot of our beliefs are shaped by the traditions, religions, and cultures we grow up in, which I kind of just briefly talked about, was saying that your childhood, your environment, and repetition of things and your experience, right? That kind of is your traditions, your religions, and your cultures that we all grow up in. The second one he would talk about would be our psychological needs, right? This dictates what we believe, the psychological, our mind, what we feel like we need. Like he says that people believe in things because it comforts them or gives life meaning, right? And I think we can all relate to that to some degree. It's been, especially if we look historically at different cultures, different groups of people all over the world. It has helped give meaning to things, which not only does it build community, but it brings people together, and I think it's a beautiful thing. But he also says that kind of on the negative side, but very realistic, is that beliefs can be used for power and control. He claimed that some beliefs are promoted by those in power to maintain control. Maintain control. And I think if you kind of reflect on some history, you can see that happening. I don't want to point out specific cultures or religions or anything like that, because I'm here to just deliver information about belief and what it can do for us as individuals. But yeah, he says that those three areas, historical and cultural, and like conditioning, psychological needs, and power and control, that's really where our belief is centered and where it comes from and stems from to how we really see the world, right? We're seeing the world through that lens of belief, whether it's in ourselves, again, or someone else or something else. That is our lens of the world and our day-by-day tasks and events and experiences. You may be asking why this is important. Well, this is important and super important because what you believe becomes your world. That is what you do, how you see things, and how you feel based off of that. Beliefs turn to thoughts. Your thoughts turn to emotions, and your emotions into action. And your actions become outcomes, right? You have that kind of order of thought and thinking that then you project out into the world from within. And that's important because that makes up a huge piece of who you are, again, how you see the world. Believing you are capable of something is the real centerpiece I want to talk about. Just believing that you are capable of doing something. Believing you are capable leads to confidence. And confidence leads to bolder actions and steps towards something in your life. And that leads to growth and opportunity. Again, the belief in yourself of being capable of something builds a confidence, or leads to confidence, same thing. But that leads to bolder action, right? Bigger steps, things that people who aren't as confident within themselves or thinking that they're capable would take. But those bolder actions lead to growth as a person, as an individual. And that growth will lead to opportunity. We talk about these things all the time on the podcast. But I would suggest maybe for some of you to write it down, one limiting belief, something that you something like I'm not good enough, right? Just something very basic, or I'm too old, and flip it into something that's empowering to you. So flip it into something that's empowering. So like if I'm not good enough, flip that into I am good enough, or I'm too old, and just literally saying I'm not too old. Why can't I do this? Right, there's some physical restraints and limitations to certain things, but let's think outside the box and let's not be so literal with certain things, right? Kind of just open your mind and try to not put those limitations on yourself, because I think we all do that. Again, it comes and stems from how we were raised, the people who raised us, the people we surround ourselves with currently, how we see ourselves. All these things are tied in to who we are as a person and where we're going in the future. And that's important, most importantly, because we all want to go somewhere. We want to be happy. We want to be successful. And that all plays a role. It doesn't mean we're not going to have bumps along the way. It doesn't mean we're not going to have challenges. It doesn't mean we're not going to have setbacks. But it's how we deal with those challenges, those bumps in the road, those setbacks. How we deal with those. I just talked to a student the other day, actually today, and she had some slight brief meltdown, but I told her it's like those things are going to happen in the future. Like you having this meltdown for this, it was a very minor thing. And I was like, it's okay to feel that way, but it's how you react to it that matters. It's how you deal with it. It's not that the thing happened, but rather how you deal with it moving forward. And more specifically, within that moment in time when it is or just did happen. Kind of want to switch some gears and talk about science a little bit and some examples of real life practical sense of this believing in something and making it true and being capable, so on and so forth. Some of you have heard of the placebo effect. this can quite literally change outcomes. One example I'm going to give is half or more of pain relief studies show that the placebo effect actually works. It shows patients at a hospital who were told they got the pain medication in their IV. Okay? Imagine these patients in a hospital, the nurses said to them, I'm giving you the pain medication. And others who were not told they got the pain medication. So one of you got the pain medication and were told you got the pain medication, and the other one of you got the pain medication but were not told you got the pain medication. The treatment was identical in both groups. Those who knew they were getting pain relievers or pain or what am I trying to say? The drugs, right? The pain drugs. Those who knew they were getting it reported lower levels of pain than the group who didn't know. So that is to say, the mind is a very powerful thing. So if I'm telling you you're getting the pain medication, your belief in the pain medication working and curing your pain and taking it away is higher than that of those who also got the pain medication but didn't know they got it. So their mind wasn't geared in that direction. Now, my hope is that you will apply that to other things in your life of how powerful the mind is and what you can truly achieve by thinking a certain way about yourself and whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish or pursue. Don't put so many limits on yourself. You do this and you're holding yourself back. The mind is a very powerful tool, and you are capable just as much as anybody else. Now, how this works, studies were showing like how this pain and this idea of knowing you're getting the drug and it's working better than if you're not knowing that but you're still getting the drug, is that this whole thing is based off of like personal expectations. Very, very simple idea. It's like when it works for someone else, like a treatment you heard was amazing, you are likely expecting it to work for you as well. So, and that in and of itself is going back to what Nietzsche said over time, where these beliefs come from, is conditioning. Our mind is being conditioned. Your brain learns based on past experiences, right? Like a medication that has worked before, you'll expect that same result every single time. So you take the Tylenol and you expect the Tylenol to work every single time. Your mind is geared towards it being effective and working just like it did the day before or the last time you took it a few months ago. Right? I bring this up because it's important to see how our internal being works and how we put it out into the world. And again, how it shapes the lens in which we see the world and see ourselves, most importantly. This conditioning reinforces your expectations and makes them stronger over time. Makes it stronger over time. So telling yourself you can do something, that you are something, that you're capable of something, that belief in oneself, that expectation that you are enough is built over time. Doesn't mean you're going to land everything perfect, but again, perfect, that word perfect, it's not attainable. I was listening to something by Kobe, and Kobe said he knows that perfection is not attainable, but it's the pursuit of perfection that makes you greater, stronger, better, amazing, if you will. It's that pursuit. It's that path that you walk to find, to achieve perfection. That's the path that makes you better and greater. But, with that kind of conditioning, there's also negative conditioning. For example, like, I don't know, negative reactions to taking a particular medication in the past, and you might experience the opposite of the placebo effect. They call that the nocebo effect. So it works both ways. But let's say socially, socially, you're experiencing situations like if everyone around you is having fun and enjoying something, a party, you're more likely to enjoy that as well, right? There's just like this blanket of belief and expectation that's, again, applicable to so many different areas of your life and that happen subconsciously all the time that you don't really know it's even happening. And I bet there's some of you that have, you know what brainwashing is, and just like it's conditioning, right? To like a severe degree, but brainwashing, you're like, oh, I'd be aware of it. That's the thing. You're not aware of it. Your mind is sculpted a certain way, and you swear up and down that it's one way when it could be another. I was watching, also, side note, the Mandela effect. If you don't know what the Mandela effect is, it's that an event, like people, basically where that comes from is people swear that Nelson Mandela died in prison in the 1980s. They swear up and down that he died in the 1980s, which is not true. He lived a long, full life, but people swear they remember seeing his funeral. Another one is the Monopoly guy. If I ask you what the Monopoly guy is wearing, what his face looks like, more than 90% of you will probably say he's wearing a monocle, the little eyeglass thing over his eye. That is not true. He has never worn that, and he does not wear that. Why we believe that, I do not know. We all think that. Another one is the Bernstein Bears that most of us grew up with, or a lot of us grew up with. But it's actually the Bernstein Bears. It's like, wait, what? My whole world is flipped upside down with some of this stuff. Or Looney Tunes is actually spelled Tunes and not Toons. I mean, the list goes on, but the Mandela effect. So thinking a certain way, and some people will tie that back to different realities and different timelines, so on and so forth. But that's a different conversation. But I brought that up to say that the power of belief, especially with a group of people socially, is very strong. Tying that back to what I just said with experiencing a situation like at a party and everyone else is enjoying it, you are more likely to enjoy that party as well, if everybody else is. So I want you to think of athletes and entrepreneurs and artists. I want you to think of them and the ones who became very successful at the thing they wanted to do because they had that belief in their dream, and no one else did, for the most part. They believed it, but others didn't. I know you've heard stories. One of the most famous ones is Michael Jordan. Got kicked off the basketball team in high school. Came back, and we all know the rest. Wasn't it high school, or did he get kicked off the first year in North Carolina? I don't remember, but he basically, some would see it as he failed his first go. He had belief in himself. He made a change, and the rest is history. And I know you guys probably know other people who have that same sort of story because they believe and believed in themselves. So I'm here to tell you, how are you any different? How am I any different? The difference is how you see yourself. How do you see yourself? That's the question you should ask. Do you believe in yourself? Are you capable? Are you strong enough? Are you too old? Are you too young? What is it? Some of us just make excuses, and then we are glued to those. And we're just going, nah, because this, that, and the other. And we make these excuses. But I think, and I know that deep down that you know that most of those aren't true. right? I'm trying to be realistic here. I'm not saying that, oh, I believe I can fly, so I should be able to fly. Please don't be one of those people that says that. But lastly, I just want to talk about how we can strengthen that belief system or belief in ourselves. And the first thing I want to say is surround yourself with people who are like-minded. Surround yourself with people who not only believe in themselves, but also believe in you and support you. I say this on a lot of episodes. The company you keep is immensely, it's tenfold. One of the greatest things you can do for yourself is surrounding yourself with people that are like yourself, who believe in themselves, but also believe in you and support you. That's huge, tenfold. It's immensely important. Another thing is that you could use affirmations and visualizations, which we've talked about. Use those types of techniques like positive quotes and the 369 technique that we've talked about, which that one's tough. Writing down your goal and your vision very specifically down to the detail 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times in the evening. It's very hard to do. That's the the Nikola Tesla approach. He informed people of doing that. But challenge your old beliefs. Ask yourself why you believe something. Whatever it may be, something minor, something very small, or something big that really is, that takes up a lot of real estate in your life. Just question it. There's nothing wrong with asking questions and just see. Do some deductions, peel back the layers and find out why, where it comes from. Challenge those old beliefs. Don't just accept something just because. That means we're just a cog in the machine. We're just moving through life kind of like a zombie. If we don't question things and say, why is this? Why is that? Instead of, most of us at one point in time and the other, we're just going along with everything just because. It's a lot easier that way. Of course it is, right? It's a lot easier to do that. Do 9 to 5, go home, watch TV, go to sleep. That's, it's easy. But lastly, I want to say always and always and always celebrate the small things, the small wins. Again, coming full circle, like I said at the beginning, it doesn't matter how small the step is forward, as long as it's forward. As long as you're going towards that dream, that goal, whatever it is, as long as you're making moves, you're staying in motion. No matter how small, you're making progress. It matters. It all matters. And most importantly, you matter. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. On our next episode, episode 19, we'll be talking about nature versus nurture. That one's going to be an exciting one. That one, I don't know if it's going to be a long one, but there's a lot of stuff to go over in that one. I've been working at it for the last week or so. That's going to be a fun one because I love that kind of stuff. All right, love you guys. Be safe. Have a great week or weekend whenever you listen to this. And I will talk to you soon.